What's up, everyone? And now it's time for my latest project. I'm trying to give power to the people, literally. It seems apparent to me that energy companies are holding the entire world hostage. They have the ability to control all of our goods and services with the oil they move, and they use it as a tool to keep us suppressed and basically keep the power over us. It seems we don't have another option, and we can't quite figure out what to do. So this is what this is about. This video is me trying to figure out a different way, and I have an idea for myself that I've created to try and give power and energy locally to homes and communities all around the nation. And all we can do, it's going to be a gravity device, and all we have to do is use the energy that we're wasting. Right now, water is coming out of city sewers, city septics, and just being literally flushed down the toilet and going out into our rivers and streams. And when we could be utilizing this energy to the fullest and be prospering off of it and creating energy and powering our communities off nothing more than our wastewater. It works good for condos, homes. You could even put it in your gutter systems, anywhere there's water flowing, drainage ditches. You can even do it with weight. This is a gravity generator, so all the weight of semis going down mountains, we can harness that. Any falling weight, we can even do it in our yard by ourselves with pulleys, or walk up a hill, ride this machine back down. So this is a gravity device. It creates power off gravity, and it's very, very super efficient. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. It's a very crude, rough idea at this point. I'm gonna have to put a lot more time into working in it, but it's something that we can do if the grid goes down or whatever. We can create with materials around right now. Nothing more than steel and copper. It's the most efficient way out there, and I really think that this could make a change, and it could give our communities and homes freedom and more power. So here's the idea, and here's where I'm gonna go with it. This right here is the idea. And so what we're doing is we're going to use gravity as a tool. So imagine these buckets are full of water, that one and then that one, and they can go up and down, and they go against each other. You know, this one fills full of water, goes all the way down and empties, and then that one goes up, and then when it gets to the top, that one fills full of water, and they just take turns going up and down. You got to imagine that this is dangling over this cliff back here and hanging down with 100 feet below the end of this trailer. So this trailer right here, you could just dangle the end of that trailer. You could pull up with this energy device, dangle that right off the edge of a cliff, and start running this machine. Now imagine, instead of this chain, I only got one sprocket here instead of four. But instead that sprocket, imagine a sprocket on every one of these bars. And so when this thing goes down, it turns the sprocket, which turns these rollers, and these are heavy-duty industrial vinyl rollers that can handle thousands of pounds. So we could even do it with those tanks over there if we wanted to. But yeah, from there it runs through like a serpentine belt and goes over that one, under that one, back over the top of that one. You got to imagine that's all chain instead of a strap there. And then you got to imagine it's 100 foot down. One of them is. So yeah, that's basically the idea. It just uses energy and feeds off itself. So I'll show you this, the generator over here. That's the generator. Obviously it's crude, but it could be hooked up to the end, and then you could run multiple generators. So you could have each end of this pipe right here could be a generator and a source of energy. So when you roll this down, and you could multiply this times infinite numbers, really. So then you're producing mass amounts of energy off nothing more than wasted energy of the water falling. So like I said, you could put this in septic systems. You could put this in literally just about anywhere you wanted. Yeah, so this is the idea here. I'm going to include a bunch more of my thoughts on this. You could also run it like an escalator. And where I say send semis off mountains is you could just, power all these right here and take a semi and just run it down. Instead of having those things full of water, just make a platform for a semi and spin all these generators off the way to that semi. Which, I live here at Lake of the Ozarks, and we have a dam that powers a lot of St. Louis, and you you could use a semi, the weight of a semi going down a mountain on this machine to power, I guarantee it would be enough generators that powers all the dam. And think how many semis go down the freeway a day. I mean, that's thousands of semis that we're just wasting off energy that we could be using. And so, yeah, that's just basically utilizing wasted energy. You could use this and stand at the bottom and run pulleys up, and do it yourself. And just to have it in a pond, or even have one of them white tubs at the bottom and fill it up that way. You can have, in theory, you could have over unity if you put a water pump to it and run it up. It, in theory, could be over unity. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but that's a whole separate entity. But yeah, this is basically the idea. If anyone out there felt like helping me make this happen, I sure would appreciate all the help I could get. I openly will admit that I am not very good with electricity, and I definitely could use some help at certain points through this. I'm also wanting to open source all my information that I create and make along the way, and I want to open source this whole project all the way through. One final thing I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to start a competition, and maybe start a GoFundMe. I'll fund it out of my pocket, and if more people want to throw in, that would be great. But what I'm wanting to do is start a competition for the most efficient over unity device you can possibly create. And yeah, and just put a competition out there, and it has to be open source. That's the thing, because I feel that anytime we try and patent something, the government has the ability to come in, take the patent, and say it's a matter of national security, and they shut down any inventions like this. So the key here is to open source and always let the public know what's going on, and just try and release these energy inventions for the good of humanity and to try and help people. So yeah, if anybody is good with electronics or good with electricity and felt like helping, I would really appreciate all the help I could get, and or any help at all. And if anybody else out there wanted to try and throw down and create this yourself, that would be awesome. And yeah, like I said, I'm wanting to start a competition, and then you can use this design, you can use your own design, whatever it is, the best over unity device that we could possibly create. I think that's what mankind needs the most now. So thank you all very much for keeping up and for listening, and I appreciate you all. Thanks.